Alright troops, today's video is going to be a bit longer than normal, and that's because I'm here to give a few people that asked for it advice, and I didn't want to leave anyone out, so we'll have to just get straight into it. I know that if it's that long you might not want to watch it, but if you ask for advice it's in there somewhere, and if you are in a point in your life when you might need just to hear something that might help, then it might be in there too, because I'm going to cover some subjects, so here we go. First problem is from Michaela Day, and her problem is that she feels guilty for something she shouldn't feel guilty for. Basically, a woman asked her to hold the train door, but you're not able to hold the train door when it's closing, and for some reason she still feels really guilty about this. If I'm honest, this one made me chuckle a little bit, and I'm sorry. Guilt is an irrational emotional experience. It doesn't actually mean that you did anything right or wrong, it just makes you feel like you did something wrong. And as soon as you realise that what you're thinking and feeling is irrational and that you shouldn't be feeling it, especially if you know for a fact that you couldn't do anything, then it should get easier to just accept the fact and move on. And if it helps any, I can just say to you, there's nothing you could have done. And, you know, just forgive yourself really. Sorry I can't be of any more help, but at one point you will forgive yourself. The next problem is from Effie. Okay, this problem is one that was stuck with me, but what she said was basically that she found herself to be really clever, and because of that she never worked hard in school and worked hard on her subjects to do anything, and because of that she has got into a sort of slump and is not able to get out of this routine of not working hard. And the reason that one is interesting to me is because I went through the exact same thing. A thing that tends to come with being clever is that you don't feel like you ever have to do any work to get far in life, and that is true to a point, but when that point comes you're going to feel wholly unprepared. I went through this problem myself, and to be honest I'm probably still going through it. When I was in school I got told I was gifted when I did the test thing that they give us, and they expected me to have the top grades and everything, and I didn't want the top grades and everything. I didn't work hard. The only thing I ever had the top grade in was English, because I actually liked English, and then I did quite well in music and drama, but you know, so did everyone. But when the work got hard I found it difficult to keep up, because again I still wouldn't do the work, I wouldn't do the homework in time, I wouldn't do the extra stuff that they asked us to do for the extra credit and things like that. I found it to be really pressuring, and that's probably what you're going through. If your family and friends and teachers all know that you're clever, then they're going to expect so much from you and you might not be able to deliver. But the best thing I can really say to you is find what you love, and that's what you should go for, and just be happy with yourself. Don't think about the pressure everyone's giving you. They are not the ones with that life. If they are the ones looking at you and saying they expect you to do this, you just say, well, expect all you like. It's my life and I'll do what I want. Next problem is from Obscenely Marvellous, and she's asking what to do to pursue a fulfilling life. And this is a tricky one because there is always that fear of failure, and if you do fail, what do you do? The best thing I can think to say is throw yourself in the deep end. Hate your job? Find a new one. Hate where you live? Move. And no matter what you do it ASAP, because if you say that you'll do it later, you will never get round to it. And if there is failure, don't let it get you down. Stand up, dust yourself off and try again. I believe in you. This next question is from Ariana. Lol. She needs help because she's unorganised. She's a friend in need apparently. Love, Ariana. Well, Ariana, I struggle with organisation as well. My biggest regret is when I was in school I did not take advantage of my mother's OCD. Find someone who's great at organisation, ask them to help you build a schedule, and what you should do is stick to that schedule religiously for about 2 or 3 weeks, and by that time it will become a habit and you won't need to force yourself to stick to it, and you'll do it naturally, and that'll keep you more organised. Love, Dave. My next problem is from Forever Open Skies, whose problem is that her parents are trying to control her life even though she's a full grown adult with her own place and her own car. It's time to rip the plaster off, or the band-aid if you're American. It's more important for you to deal with your life than for them to deal with your life. That's why it's called your life. So tell them that, and tell them straight. Don't beat around the bush. When you're going to tell them, make sure you know what you're going to say. Say it clearly and say it as if you're formidable, but do not start a fight. You don't want to be fighting with your family, that's never a good thing. But just make sure they understand that you're serious and you're taking control of your own life. If you just make it hints or whatever, they're not going to accept them because they're too busy focusing on their own problems. You have to make sure that you say it directly. My next problem is from Ruth. Do I think that going to uni is a good idea? See, most people's main problem with going to uni is that they think that they have to stick with that their entire life. If you go to uni to study one thing and then you decide that you don't want to work there anymore, you don't want to do that as a career, it's not that much of a problem. You can always go to something else, you can always do a different type of class, you can always change your major, is that what Americans say, or you can pretty much just go for the other career without the uni work, because if you've went to uni, they're still going to be impressed you're clever enough to do that, and that will get you an in at your job. So my advice, yes, go to uni, find out what you want to do, go to uni. If you don't like it, it's not the end of the world, okay? My next problem is from someone who wanted to remain anonymous. They want to travel the world and get out of America, don't know why, but you know, and they're away from their family and they're happy, but the problem is she's had a bit of a problem with her mother and a bit of abuse, it seems like. She keeps in contact with her sister through emails and such, but her sister's starting to scare her by seeming paranoid about how she looks and about her body image and things. I love that you want to travel, make sure to come to Glasgow at one point. Family problems are often the catalyst for insecurities and the like. However, you have to bear in mind that your sister is a 12-year-old girl, and 12-year-old girls do get paranoid about how they look anyway. You have to find out if these problems are real insecurities that are going to affect her, or if she can get over them herself, because young people getting over a problem like that by themselves will give them a lot of pride and make them more well-rounded as a person. So if you think she can deal with this on her own, you have to let her. But first you should find out if she can deal with it on her own. Start off by telling her something really personal. If she knows that you're being completely open with her, she will be completely open with you. Then gauge for yourself whether she is serious, if she's having real problems here. If this isn't just a worry that a 12-year-old girl has, that she's not as pretty as someone else, or if this is a real issue. She says she hates school, so I imagine that she's like a lot of people and not have that many friends. The best advice you can give to make friends is to go to groups that are into the same things as her. So if she likes acting, send her to a drama group. If she likes music, ask her to go to a music group, because then she'll be meeting people with the same interests as her, and it'll be a lot easier for her to make friends. Even if they're not in school, that's fine, because she'll be happier knowing that there's people there that she can be friends with outside of school. Okay guys, I really hope that any part of my advice there helped anyone at all. If it didn't, I'm sorry, I did my best. If you ever want me to do this again, don't be scared to comment or message me or tweet me or any of those things. All my details are still in the doobly-doo, and I will see you all after.